Ladies and gentlemen, I'm a bit early. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another show, The Buzz. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another segment talking about technology, and our favorite talk of the week has so far been AR and VR. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your hosts, Kings, and that is my buddy Tim. We are here to talk to you about everything technology, finances, business, and entrepreneurship, but mainly virtual reality and augmented reality. Tim, what have we
Exactly.
got for today?
Yeah. Good to have you, Chris, on the show. Always, as always. So talking about AR and VR right now, you know, we are talking about this pretty much every day, and it's like we have a surprise. Um, we are as surprised every day, right?
Yeah, of course.
We are equally as surprised every day because everything is just changing so fast, and when you're talking about, I mean, when you're talking about the whole concept in the lines of where brands are going, who's investing. Now talking about Snapchat, we spoke about Facebook yesterday. Tomorrow we'll have some news
Yeah.
on the facebook
Mm.
Facebook collaboration with Ray-Ban. But yeah, now we're coming on to things in the lines of Snapchat as well. Being able to scan with the biometrics of your iPhone, you can basically, if I want to say take these headphones, right?
Yeah.
If I want to take these headphones and make a visual 3D image of it, all I need to
Yeah.
do is make sure it's in a lit up space
Yeah.
and move my phone around it, with move my camera around it, facing it. So, I mean, that easy, you can make a whole different reality as well. So, taking, if it is furniture, if it is your car, if it is,
Yeah.
your family, you can basically make a different figure out of that. You know how basketball players are made, right? Out of uh, for 2K.
Yeah.
You've seen the pictures, you've seen videos of them, walking into this room with 100 cameras around them,
Yeah.
this lit
Yeah.
room.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
exactly how they get the that's how you get the body for 2K, for example, right? And
Okay.
they play, to, I mean, if you're going to manually design all these celebrations, these, the way when you play 2K, the way
Mm.
the player bounces the ball, the way they sprint. KD
Mm.
doesn't sprint the same way as LeBron does, nor do they sprint the same way Russell Westbrook do. you
Mm.
know I'm talking body language, I'm talking celebrations, I'm talking breathing, and if they're frustrated, and if they're in a good, if they're pumped, the
Yeah.
body language is just the same as in real life, right?
Mm.
So how, I mean, you've probably seen what I mean here, but um when we talk about these body suits with the sensors, it's this black suit and you have the dots going all around the
Yeah.
body.
I
So
always thought they were like light bulbs or something.
bro, yeah, yes, I mean, it's pretty cool, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's basically so the machine knows what type, what what joint is moving at what time.
Yeah.
And it's collecting all that data at once. It's crazy, man. And for that to start integrating with games, with Snapchat coming into play, and
Mm.
how the demand for 5G is also growing, because there, see, within the last 2 years, right? We've been having so many issues with video calls or data, making sure that the bandwidth speed is the same as what everyone else is having.
Mm.
Um, you know, with 5G, you can basically transfer a ton more data. I think it's about at least 50 times more data in the same amount of time. So if I was spending 1 megabyte, hypothetically 1 megabyte per second data to you, via video call, or if I'm
Mm.
sharing something with you, this
Mm.
time now I can send, either the video quality can be 50 times stronger, or I
Mm.
can do stream 50 videos all at once with you. It's going to be at that speed. So
Mm.
the improvement is going to be so much, but it's going to also cost. So
Mm.
the demand for it is really growing, because talking about the the demand for all this, I was just talking about it on the previous show, but
Yeah.
the demand for data and bandwidth providers has grown so fast back in 2020 when lockdown started, and these companies have started hitting their 2022 targets.
Look at that. And that's all due to the fact that the whole world went on a complete standstill. I don't
Yeah, I
know.
mean, having the video calls, doing everything on video, or
Yeah.
how many calls have been coordinated, right?
Yeah, that must have been a lot of calls. I mean, thinking about it now, you kind of have to ask yourself, was lockdown a good thing or a bad thing for the planet? Or was it a good or a bad thing for, the world? Economically, it affected people both ways because it definitely did some sort of good to people that were working in the shadows and not having to spend money on things on the outside. But at the same time, it did affect people like businesses that weren't receiving money from consumers that couldn't leave their homes. So coming back to the main topic of conversation where we were speaking about AR and VR involved in gaming, I just had a thought. And you see, with this whole AR and VR, all of this augmented reality and virtual reality talk, we spoke about how augmented reality, we could, put the goggles on and feel like we are sat there watching, a game courtside while sat next to Jay-Z or Kevin Hart or Meek Mill, whoever. And you're just there, you can see these people right next to you and you can just see like LeBron dribbling up the court, shooting and stuff. Now, here's something I literally just had a thought of. Imagine with virtual reality, we could, instead of us, how we play 2K and our 2K player, our My Pro player, or whichever, and we just be playing with the pad and everything. Instead of that, how about we actually have the goggles on, the controllers, and we actually play in the match? So you look like
that'd be crazy. I mean, I think I'm just trying to understand how that's gonna go.
It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, looking around and stuff, you won't need that left toggle or anything, so you can basically look where you're looking at and scan the code. But and there's so much you can do.
Exactly, like the possibility when we continue to say this, the possibilities of AR and VR are endless. I don't know what it would take for us to be able to get to that point, but imagine instead of playing, we'd have the two options. You'd have the regular 2K, you'd have 2K, and then they give you two options as to if you want to play with the pad, you can play with your My Pro player, you can play with your 2K player using your pad. And you get to see your player run up and down the court, shooting everything. Then they give you the option of play to your 2K career with VR or switch it out wherever. Play 2K from the VR standpoint, and then you put on the goggles, you have the two controllers which you run with, whichever, and you are immersed inside of the game, sat watching all of your players 5-on-5, and every time you get to just shoot that. Like, do you know how crazy that is?
Man, like, I don't know, man. Like, I'm just like, it's like I can't even wait to see what it's gonna be like. I really want to experience that, because I think we watched that video of these guys playing some paranormal activity game, right?
Oh, that is so funny. It is so funny.
See, one thing is, that's so good for your health as well because you're moving so much more, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be so much more. You'd be so much more immersed in what's happening, and acting like a Steph Curry. Getting having to play where you want to play. Act like LeBron dunking.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And the thing is, it's crazy because it doesn't even just have to apply to 2K. You could even take it into terms of playing FIFA. And you could have your own pro player playing on the pitch. You could either be passing to Neymar or Messi or Ronaldo, and you're thinking this is literally happening right now in game. Or you could play NFL. You could you could just catch a worldie from only Lord knows where, and you're running to make a touchdown. Things like that. And maybe I'm going so deep into it, but as we continue to say, the possibilities are endless. The way they could even make it realistic. Say, for example, you're playing 2K. like you've got the controls in hand, you've got the two, the two sticks. So you're running, you catch the ball, you shoot or whatever. And I don't know, maybe they'll make it so that whenever you catch the ball, there'll be a particular type of vibration in the pads. So then it feels like you're actually holding the ball. I don't know, or
Man,
it
that'd
does
be
something
nuts.
to, that there's a particular type of effect where they make
Yeah,
the
yeah,
pads
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like they're heavier, or just some a type of stimulation to make it feel like you're
I mean,
holding something,
see,
you know?
your I mean, we have the iPhone, right? And
Yeah,
or even your whatever the phone is, as small as they get, they have the
yeah,
vibrating the hardware in it. So I
yeah,
honestly don't see why they can't. It might have to be, in terms of hardware, it might have to look like a shoe that you put on or something like that. So
yeah,
if when you're running around, you get that feeling and all that. But yeah, it'd be crazy, man, to get to that point.
yeah, exactly. And I don't know how many years it will be, but I feel, do you know what? I feel like it will reach a point where, when we get to that level of technology, I feel like that's when the whole face of the world will change and
Yeah.
perspectives will change and everything's just going to change. So many different things we never expected to see have started happening. And with everyone's complaints whenever it comes to 2K in terms of, the graphics and things are just, like things are just not good. I feel like people are going to have even more complaints if they were to play in VR, that they'll probably just shoot down Ronnie 2K and say, like, this is just terrible.
See,
How do you
man.
go from this to that?
Uh, yeah. I mean, it's VR. You're gonna be. It will be more of a challenge, honestly, to
Mm,
comprehend what's going on in the
mm,
game for in terms of graphics. But
mm.
see, people complain, but they still buy it, right? Because like there's no real replacement for it. And also they compare it to the trailers, where the trailers always look like real life, and then the game, it's the game at the end of the day, right? So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, I personally have come across instances where, either our parents or that generation, if they just watch us playing, they think it's a
Yeah.
real game, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It Do you know what? I always ask my brother about this as well, and a lot of my friends. So if we were to go back, say 10 years or 15 years, so before PlayStation 3 was even made, and I think even before the Nintendo Wii had become, a thing. So say we were playing PlayStation 2, we used to think characters then looked realistic. And
Exactly,
then
man.
and then PlayStation 3 came out and we thought, wow, these graphics look amazing. They look so real, you know? And then PlayStation 4 comes out and it's, wow, this looks so
Exactly, man.
realistic.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah,
first VR will not be the best VR. I mean, we
yeah,
thought the same thing when the iPhone 3 or the iPhone 4 came out, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's it's gonna keep moving up like that. Like we think we're
Mm.
updated with what's going on now. We have no idea what it's gonna be like in 5 years' time.
There
So
we go. There we go. And you know what? I always ask myself this question because I'll never understand it. Why is it that we think something looks realistic? So, say for example, the PlayStation 3 graphics or the Nintendo Wii graphics or whichever, we always think at that time it looked really realistic. Then the PlayStation 4 comes out, and then we spend so much time on the PlayStation 4 that when we go back to the PlayStation 3 and look at the graphics, we'll think to ourselves, how did we think this was realistic?
man, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know what type of explanation there is behind it, but this happens a lot because there's been times where I will go back in time to go and see, like I'll go and check older games. I'll go and
Yeah,
take a look at some older games just to see what it was like, and I think to
yeah,
myself, how did I actually? Why did I think this was real? I can see like I can see it doesn't even look realistic. Like I can see
right.
the faults in the graphics, but why is it I didn't notice that before? Do you understand?
Yeah, I mean that's because that was the best then, and then whatever is the best
Mm,
then, you're definitely gonna think that's the best, ever. So
yeah.
I mean, that's a cool thing that everyone keeps doing. That these successful companies at least keep doing. They
Mm,
don't ever stop at one product or anything like that. They look at a way where they can always innovate, right? And
Yeah.
that, at the end of the day, is what technology is going to keep doing. It's coming to the place where people can't keep up, and when you understand what is actually happening in the real world, there's so much going on. It's so much so that technology is also now coming to take over people's jobs. It's
Yeah.
no joke, man.
Yeah. See, with all of the technology that's taking over people's jobs, it's good for efficiency, but then it's also bad for, I wouldn't even say for the economy. No,
See
I would say it's
what
bad for the economy,
um,
actually.
what one thing Elon Musk also brought up when he was announcing the robot
Mm,
was that eventually in time it can come to a place where robots are working more than people
mm,
or are more cost effective.
mm.
And in that case, if people are outskilled, or if people are not updated with what's going on, they might have to have like a minimum income organized by the government or something of that sort. It's crazy.
They'd have to have a minimum income organized by the government because of the fact that, robots would be taking a lot of people's jobs.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy right now. But yeah, that's a start, right? And this it's because these guys, I definitely, it's not like I just take anything that they say lightly or anything. So
Yeah, yeah,
because the way they think, they're thinking at least 50 years ahead. Since the whole Mars conversation, the whole um, Tesla thing. How he started, people
yeah,
were laughing at him, but
yeah,
I was also wondering why he was working so hard towards an electric car. But if it worked, it would have worked. But look at him now. Tesla is almost as glorified. It's glorified almost next to the Rolls Royce or something like that. I mean, in terms of
yeah.
brand value.
Not to mention, we also see, I literally see Tesla almost every four cars that drive past me is a Tesla. I don't know if a lot of people are able to afford it. So,
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, it's cool though. It's cool that things are changing fast. I mean, there's a reason people are investing in it as well. But yeah, to consider immersion, that is definitely the future of AR gaming. And when you're talking
yeah,
about 48% of all consumers, they say that AR will be the dominant media type in including gaming in the next
yeah,
5 years. Now, if you're looking to focus on current AR gamers, about 7 out of 10 AR gamers think it'll be a totally new gaming experience, and it won't be just a minor evolution. So, you know, we're not talking, 3 to 5 year 2K 2K graphic updates. We're talking a whole different scenario. We're talking,
yeah,
um, imagine being like acting like you're in GTA, right? And
yeah,
instead of that there was one version where you had the bird's eye view of what you were doing whenever, right? I don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
which version honestly, but from that to come to
mm,
this distance, where even GTA 5 with the mods and stuff like that, it's crazy.
yeah,
Now 5G and AR will make a big leap in the evolution of gaming, because when you're talking about video games, these have had a fantastic evolution since since the electronic game consoles that came out. You're talking about graphics today, you're talking about 4K screens, you're talking about AR and VR glasses. um you know it's it is a good gaming device, to get to consider. Considering the internet connection will also need to be excellent, the bandwidth, the low latency, all these will need to be relevant, right?
yeah, of
Yeah.
course. So, looking onto that specific conversation as well, talking about 5G and AR, um, I feel as though it is good that they are both. Oh, looks like we've lost Tim. Ladies and gentlemen, so continuing on with the conversation. So, talking on to the whole topic of AR and VR. So, I feel as though it is a very, very, very good indicator. They both complement each other side by side. Reason being because of the fact that 5G is a more powerful type of connection that can provide a lot more bandwidth, as Tim has already mentioned. I do soon. He will be back with us, ladies and gentlemen. But continuing on, so it will provide a lot of bandwidth, as well as AR being a very powerful generator, needing a lot of power to be able to work. It's a very not necessarily a generator, but it is a very powerful indicator that requires a lot of connectivity to be able to flourish and work through. So going on to that particular conversation, that particular topic of conversation, moving forward along with it, we now have, both of them going hand in hand with each other, being able to provide a newer experience for technology. So, go. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. I'm here.
He's back. We lost you for a minute, Tim.
Yeah, man. What was it? What did I miss?
So we was just speaking on AR and 5G and why they are, why they complement each other perfectly, because both are very powerful indicators of each other. One requires a lot of power to be able to work, and one can provide a lot of power so that it can, help something else more powerful work.
Yeah,
You understand? So one's a
exactly.
generator, another's a receiver, and not to mention they will both provide very good services to be able to have a very good and positive outcome.
See, we're
So
talking about, I mean, you're talking about a ton of physical effort, right? Initially. So when I say physical, I don't mean gaming or interaction. I mean setting up these 5G towers or things like that. Now there's a ton
yeah.
of rumors that say that 5G will be dangerous for people, 5G won't be safe. So much of conversation in those lines. Ladies and gentlemen tuned in, just let us know in the comments below if you think what should we say, if 5G is safe or not, or if you think of it as a positive or a negative. Just let us know in the comments here below. You can call Kings and I up on 07852 473 473. Yeah. You can leave a comment here below and just ask us your questions as well. So, coming into understanding the demand for 5G growing, it will be as much as, as much as, when I say, it will be as needed as fast as technology
like
is going to
the
be moving into AR, right?
like demand for AR will be will be really,
Yeah,
really high, especially when
yeah,
it's been tested and proven and everything in between. So once it does get that, let's say green light, once it does get that green light to go ahead, the whole world's going to change. Like everyone's going to want to be a part of that wave. And if you're not, then you will sadly be left out and you will not be able to realize what it is that you're missing. So,
exactly.
yeah. But along with that whole topic of conversation to do with AR and VR and 5G, speaking on AR, there was a video of Mark Zuckerberg who had actually been
Oh
playing
yeah.
he's using AR Ray-Ban glasses, and it's kind of crazy to me because at first when I watched that video I didn't even think I thought it just seemed like a regular tennis game. I was just watching both of them play everything and that, just what's it, one serves, one returns, just returns, rallies, things like that.
I mean, we are
Then I
talking
watched,
about the
yeah,
launch today, right? And
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that can be our topic for tomorrow. Apple has announced the next keynote speech on the
Mm,
14th of September.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, we're in for an interesting week, man.
Well, I'll be. So, yeah. So far, it seems as though we have a lot of releases in terms of technology. We've already received, in terms of gaming, so far, we have received a lot in terms of the PS5, the brand new Xbox, other different consoles such as Nintendo. They haven't really updated as far as I'd like to say, maybe 2017, and that was when the Nintendo Switch had come out. But all in all, we are really, really moving on up in terms of the new and not necessarily improved, but the new and updated sources of technology that will be implemented in today's society. So honestly, with AR being the main topic and the main captain of what goes on today, it is going to be something that definitely changes a lot for the future. It will definitely.
Yeah.
It's a pivotal point for the future. 100%.
It's like having not having 5G in 3 to 5 years will be like having a game for the PS5 graphics, but not the PS5. Get what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's kind of odd.
It's complemented, right? Like you
Yeah.
need both, and you can't. I mean, it might not be as functional as the other.
Exactly. Exactly that. Because if one thing, you can't have 100% of one thing and then 50% of the other and think it's going to work out in the end. You
Yeah.
get like it needs to be equal on both sides in order for them both to be able to produce a finished product. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless, I'm very excited for AR. I'm very excited for VR. And in fact, ladies and gentlemen, I should even notify you guys that I will be taking a trip over to a virtual reality place so I could be able to finally test out everything I've seen in these videos, see what it's like. So I'm going to give you my full review on the place, all of the gaming, everything, like the whole immersive feel and what it must feel like. So I'm going to make those Instagram videos a reality.
That's
So,
right. So make sure you are tuned in. Kings will actually be going documenting himself, getting a couple of videos of the place. Talking to the people around, asking them what their experience is like. We can do quite a bit. Get a whole experience of it, and yeah, we can shoot it up on our Relax Radio pages as well. So Kings' tour of the AR, park, right? But what's it called? Where is
the
this?
place it's in London and the place is called Hyper Reality. So,
Hyper-reality.
ladies and gentlemen, if you ever do get an opportunity, those of you that are in London, go to
Yeah.
Hyper Reality. One of the best virtual reality experiences that, well, so far you could probably try. But I will give my
We are about to
review
try.
next
We are
week.
about to try. Kings is about to try.
Yes.
Let's see
One of
how
the
that goes.
and you'll get my whole review and response and feedback on it next week on not next week. You'll get my whole review in 2 weeks' time. So,
Yeah.
other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we have been your wonderful hosts for today's section and segment, The Buzz. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to call the number down below. Call that number down below. Ladies and gentlemen, call that number down below. Call it. We are here. We would love to hear your comments. Let us know what you want to say. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, if you just want to send love and say we love what you're doing, send love.
Yeah, man.
See, the number's literally just a phone away. Ladies and gentlemen, give us a call. Let us know what you want us to hear. And we will provide you with the things you'd love to hear. So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been The Buzz. We have been your hosts, DJ Kings and Tim, and we are out.